Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered where the hell you went? You know, that moment when you catch your reflection and the face staring back at you is a stranger, someone you've been living with but haven't truly seen in ages. The version of you who used to laugh without restraint, make bold moves, say no without hesitation. The one who felt alive, who knew exactly what he wanted, what he stood for, and wasn't afraid to chase it. But somewhere along the way, you traded that guy in. Not for a better version of yourself. No, you gave him away for comfort, for approval, for the false promise of peace that you thought you were buying by becoming someone else. You started saying yes when your gut screamed no. You kept quiet when your soul screamed for freedom. You put on that mask every single day, pretending to be okay when deep down you were drowning. And for what? To make someone else feel comfortable with your presence. To be accepted by people who wouldn't even think twice about tossing you aside when their convenience changed. You bent, you compromised, you shrank your fire, you ignored your worth. And all for what? A seat at the table, the illusion of connection. You sacrificed your peace, your voice, your identity, to avoid rejection, to avoid conflict, to avoid looking like you're too much. But let me tell you something. The truth is, you gave away pieces of yourself every time you played small just to fit in. You compromised the very foundation of who you are, and now you're paying the price. Because deep down, you feel it, don't you? That void, that empty space where your confidence used to live. And here's the kicker. It doesn't get better. It doesn't heal by ignoring it. It festers, it grows, it pulls at the edges of your spirit until you don't recognize who you've become anymore. I get it. We've all been there, trying to be everything to everyone, thinking we're doing the right thing by keeping the peace, by being nice, by putting others' needs before our own. But it's a trap, one that steals your soul little by little, until you're left with nothing but a shell of the person you were meant to be. So, let's talk about it. Have you ever bent your boundaries just to keep the peace? Said yes when your entire body screamed no? Stayed in situations, relationships or jobs that drained you, leaving you empty because you didn't want to rock the boat? I've been there too. And that's where it starts. The slow, silent destruction of who you are. It's like a slow leak. You don't even notice it until the water's already up to your neck. And let me tell you, the worst part isn't even the exhaustion or the stress. It's the numbing, the feeling of slowly becoming invisible in your own life, watching yourself fade while everyone else around you remains as loud, as demanding, as needy as ever. You're losing yourself to everyone else's demands, their wants, their needs, and their opinions. And for what? For acceptance? For comfort? It's time to break free. It's time to stop pretending. It's time to reclaim your life, your fire, your edge. If you've ever felt drained just by being around certain people, if you've ever apologized for something you didn't even do just to keep things easy, if you've ever felt like you were disappearing little by little just to fit in, then this video is for you. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's time to wake up, to get real, to look yourself in the eye and say, enough. You deserve more than the scraps you've been given. You deserve to be loud, to be unapologetic, to be exactly who you are. No filters, no compromises, no second guessing. This is your wake-up call. Your time to stop living on autopilot, stop drowning in guilt, stop shrinking your fire for anyone or anything. You owe it to yourself to rise, to reclaim everything you gave away, because your peace, your confidence, your self-respect, they're non-negotiable. And the first step is not backing down, not ever again. So don't skip a second of this video. Don't walk away from this moment that could change everything. This is your chance to remember who you are, to take back what's yours. If you're ready to get real with yourself, to face the truth, to stop being invisible, then hit that like button, leave a comment and share your truth. And subscribe to this channel, because this is only the beginning. Number 1. Never sacrifice your peace. Peace isn't loud. It doesn't parade through your life, drawing attention. It doesn't shout from the rooftops or demand recognition. No, peace is that silent, untouchable force that slips into your bones when everything around you is chaos. It's the calm before the storm, the stillness before the dawn breaks, the silence between two thunderclaps. Peace is yours to guard, yours to hold. Yet somewhere along the way, we let it slip through our fingers. We trade it for empty applause, shallow connections, for love that burns with the intensity of a fire but doesn't warm us. We allow the world's noise to seep in and tell ourselves it's just part of living, but that's the lie we've swallowed. Some people aren't storms, they're black holes, and if you don't set boundaries, they'll devour everything, every ounce of your peace, every shred of your soul. Think back. How many times have you stayed in the fire when you should have walked away? How many times did your chest tighten, your pulse spike, your mind race? Yet you convinced yourself to stay, to endure, to please. You stayed, not because it made you feel alive, but because you feared being alone. You feared that if you let go, they'd disappear, or worse, that your own existence would feel meaningless without their approval. You smiled through clenched teeth when your heart was shattering into pieces. You remained silent when your entire being was screaming for relief. You lied to yourself, telling yourself that this was strength. That was surrender. That was you abandoning your soul. And peace cannot thrive in the rubble of self-neglect. Remember what Marcus Aurelius said: "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." But how can you retreat to that sacred space when it's drowning in the expectations and emotional chaos of others? Your peace is not negotiable. It's not a luxury to be bought once you've conquered everything else. It's the bedrock of your existence. Your peace is the cornerstone on which every ounce of strength and clarity stands. Without it, you're lost, drifting, reacting to every storm that comes your way instead of responding with the calm of someone who knows their purpose. Your peace isn't a commodity. It's the map to your soul. If you let others take that from you, you'll wander aimlessly, stuck in a maze of distraction, empty connections, and hollow noise. Your peace is worth more than you know, more than you realize. When the wrong people walk into your life, when the wrong situations knock at your door, they come with a price. That price is always steep. They want your energy, your spirit, your time. And if you let them take your peace in the process, it will cost you your very essence. Don't do it. Don't settle. Don't stay where you're not seen, heard, or valued. You have the power to walk away. You have the strength to say no. You have the authority to choose silence over noise, solitude over the toxic energy of those who don't deserve your time. The person who knows how to protect his peace isn't weak. He's a warrior. He knows that without inner peace, nothing, absolutely nothing, will ever truly matter. Peace isn't a choice. It's a command. Protect it or lose everything. Number 2, never sacrifice your self-respect. There's a silence that screams so loudly, it shatters the bones in your body. It's the silence that comes after you've thrown yourself away, After you've let someone walk over your soul, grind your dignity into dust, and not only did you let them do it, you invited them in. You laughed when every nerve in your body was burning. You bent your back when you should have stood tall. You tolerated the chaos. You let them chip away at you like a relentless hammer hitting glass, not realizing you were the one shattering. That silence, it isn't peace. It's the deafening scream of your soul crying out from the wreckage. You've felt it, that gut-wrenching ache of knowing you're shrinking, becoming smaller, more invisible, just to keep the peace. You've been there, standing in the wreckage with nothing left but a faint echo of who you were before you let someone strip you of everything. You compromised your standards. You let them cross lines you never thought you'd allow. You begged for validation from people who couldn't even see you if you stood naked in front of them. You traded your power for the illusion of love, and in doing so, you drowned your worth in their indifference. And yet, you stayed. Why? Because the fear of being alone, the fear of being seen as too much, too intense, too real, that fear was louder than the voice that said, "This isn't me. Here's the insanity." You tolerated the abuse, the belittling, the gaslighting, because you were told that being good meant being invisible, that not rocking the boat was somehow a virtue. But what they never told you is that when you shrink yourself down to make others comfortable, you lose yourself. And worse, they don't even notice. They walk away thinking you're just fine, while you're bleeding on the inside. You become the ghost of who you were, a shell, and at the end of the day, they go back to their lives, while you sit in the ruins of who you used to be. But here's where the madness flips. Epictetus, yeah, that's Stoic. He nailed it when he said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But it's freedom, raw, unapologetic freedom. Because when you start standing for yourself, when you stop apologizing for existing as you are, you'll lose people. People who thought your silence meant compliance, who thought your kindness meant weakness. But what they don't get is that when you start rejecting the world's cheap version of love and respect, you're not just rejecting them, you're reclaiming yourself. And no one can take that from you. Stop compromising. Stop apologizing. Stop trying to make yourself small to fit in a world that doesn't deserve you. This is not a time to be nice or easy to deal with. This is a time to be fierce. This is a time to be a warrior. Your self-respect is a battle cry, not a whisper. It's the power you wield without lifting a finger. It's the way you stop begging for crumbs from people who can't even offer you the full meal. It's the way you say no without flinching, without a single drop of guilt. When you stop bending for the world's approval, when you refuse to allow anyone to treat you like you're disposable, you unlock the deepest form of freedom. You are not here to be palatable. You are here to be a storm. Self-respect doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't beg. It doesn't ask for permission. It simply is. It's the way you cut off toxic people with surgical precision. It's the way you stop clinging to relationships that drain your soul. It's the way you refuse to stand in the shadows just so others can feel big. Your worth is not up for debate. Your dignity is not for sale. You don't need to explain why you walk away. You don't need anyone's permission to set boundaries. You are not a charity case for people to dump their emotional garbage on. Your self-respect is a fortress, and if someone isn't willing to enter on your terms, then they don't deserve entry at all. Do not let loneliness trick you into thinking disrespect is a fair price for connection. Do not let the fear of being alone push you into compromising who you are for anyone. Love should never be a justification for self-neglect. You are not here to be someone else's emotional outlet, someone else's crutch, or someone else's sidekick. Anyone who asks you to shrink yourself, to lower your worth, just to make them feel comfortable, does not deserve a minute of your time. Walk away, stand tall, let the world burn around you. You will rise from the ashes like a phoenix. Because your self-respect is your shield, and no one can take that from you without your permission. So, hold it close. Don't ever give it away. Never sacrifice your self-respect, because once it's gone, everything else crumbles. You owe it to yourself to be everything they told you not to be. You owe it to yourself to be unapologetically, undeniably you. Number 3. Never sacrifice your time. Never sacrifice your time. There's a quiet kind of violence that doesn't scream or shout. It whispers as it steals. It's the distraction that pulls you away from your purpose. It's the endless, empty conversations that drain you of energy. It's the one-sided relationships that take and take, leaving nothing but the echo of a goodbye you never saw coming. Time doesn't need a weapon. It just needs people who aren't aware of how precious it really is. It's the silent thief that robs you of your essence, and it doesn't leave a trace, except for the emptiness you feel when you look back, wondering where it all went. People talk about money like it's the only thing worth protecting, but money comes and goes. Wealth can be rebuilt, relationships can be repaired, but time, once it slips through your fingers, it's gone forever. You can't buy it back. You can't negotiate for more. It doesn't wait. Time doesn't ask. It doesn't even warn. The moment you give it away, you can't retrieve it. And yet, how often do we squander it? How often do we toss it around like it's some worthless commodity? We say yes when every fiber of our being screams no. We entertain the people who drain us, and we scroll through the lives of strangers, trading hours for numbness, as if we have an infinite supply of both time and life. But time is you. It is your breath, your memories. It is your chance to build something that matters, to evolve, to love with everything in you, to be truly alive. When you waste it, you're not just losing minutes or hours. You're losing fragments of your very soul. A part of you dies in those wasted moments, and no one will ever mourn it. It's a slow death, the kind that's invisible to others, but unmistakable to you. And the most dangerous part, it becomes easier the more you do it. The more you trade your moments for meaningless distractions, the less you can recognize the value of your time. Seneca nailed it when he said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Just look around. How many people do you know stuck in loops, repeating the same mistakes, having the same fights, chasing after things that will never give them peace? They don't know why they do it. They just can't let go. They keep hoping that tomorrow will be different, that somehow it'll all change if they just stick around long enough." But here's the ugly truth. Holding on to what no longer serves you is the most expensive mistake you'll ever make. It costs you growth. It costs you peace. And worst of all, it costs you time. Time you'll never get back. Not even with the most heart-wrenching regrets. Now, you owe it to yourself to be savage with your time, ruthless. You don't have the luxury of wasting it on people or things that don't respect you. Your mornings? They're sacred. Guard them like your life depends on it. Your evenings? Holy ground. Stop answering every meaningless message. Stop justifying your boundaries. Stop planning your entire life around people who would never do the same for you. You are not obligated to anyone's chaos. You don't owe anyone a second of your life if they don't value it as you do. What you owe is to yourself, to use your time like it's the most valuable thing in the world, because the man who respects his time is the man who builds a life worth living. You don't have forever. And if you keep acting like you do, you'll wake up one day and realize that it's all gone. The moments, the chances, the life. Don't waste another second pretending like time doesn't matter, because it does. And it's slipping away, whether you choose to see it or not. Number 4. Never sacrifice your values. There's a moment, a single moment, when life throws the gauntlet at your feet. It doesn't scream at you. It doesn't slam you in the face. No, it sneaks up on you like a shadow at dusk, quiet and deadly. The world will test you, and not in some grand showdown. It tests you in whispers, temptations, shortcuts, the easy road, the silence when you should be screaming your truth. That's when most people fall. Not because they're evil, not because they're monsters. No, they fall because they've never been forced to face this question. What do you stand for? What will you never, ever sacrifice? Listen up. Values aren't something you wear like a designer label or toss out like a slogan on your Instagram. They're not a damn hashtag or a clickbait line to boost your followers. No, values are your bones. They are your soul's architecture. They're the steel running through your veins. The second you abandon them, even just a little bit, you begin to rot. It's not loud. It's not explosive. It's not some grand "I just sold my soul" moment. No, it's death by 1,000 cuts. You tell a tiny lie to keep someone around. You agree to something that goes against every fiber of your being. You shrink, 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 until one day you wake up and look in the mirror, and the man staring back at you is a ghost, a shadow, a version of you that doesn't even know who he is anymore. You've lost yourself. And guess what? No one will warn you. No one will say, "Hey, you're selling your soul for a good story." You'll just wake up and realize you're nothing but a puppet with someone else pulling the strings. Musonius Rufus, a man who lived and bled for his values, said, "To live in harmony with your values is to be free." You want freedom? It's not in reckless abandon. It's not in the "do whatever the hell you want" mindset. Real freedom, it's the ability to look yourself in the eye and not flinch. It's the power to know exactly who you are and never apologize for it. It's waking up every day and knowing you've got one shot, one life to live, and you refuse to let anyone control it. You want to know what freedom is? It's standing tall when everyone around you is crouching down in fear. It's the stillness you feel when the world is begging you to break and you refuse. You are the storm. But here's the reality. Life won't ask for your values. It will demand them, and you won't be prepared for it. People will come at you from all sides, trying to bend you, mold you, break you. Your own mind will whisper lies. And you'll face choices, small ones at first, that will chip away at your soul. But the man who knows what he stands for, he's untouchable, because his foundation is so deep, so strong, that not even the fiercest storm can shake him. He doesn't need to fit in. He doesn't need to belong. He walks into the fire because he knows who he is, and no matter how hot the flames get, he won't flinch, he won't break, he won't become someone else just to appease the crowd. Here's the cold, hard truth. If you're forced to betray yourself to keep someone around, it's time to let them go. If you have to diminish your power, your light, just to make others comfortable, you're wasting your life. If you have to kill a part of who you are just to survive, it's time to burn everything to the ground and rebuild it. Not on lies, not on compromises, not on the shadows of your past, but on a foundation of truth, on a bedrock of who you are and who you will never be. You will be tested. Life will come at you like a freight train, asking you to sell your soul for just a little more comfort, a little more approval, a little more of whatever it is that others have. But when you stand on your values, when you stand on what is true, nothing, and I mean nothing, can break you. Your values are the only thing you truly own. Your money, gone in a flash. Your fame, vanished in a moment. Your relationships, they can be gone in the blink of an eye. But your values, they're the one thing that can't be taken from you. They are the fortress that keeps you standing tall, no matter the chaos around you. Never, ever sacrifice your values, because in the end, they are the only thing that will keep you alive. Everything else will crumble, but your values, if you protect them, will make you a force of nature, and that is a price worth fighting for. Number 5. Never sacrifice your inner peace. The world is full of noise, but it's the noise that doesn't hit your ears that breaks you. It doesn't come in the form of shouting or chaos. It whispers. It's the slow drip of every toxic word, every draining person, every useless argument you allow to rattle your cage. You're surrounded by everything, but still feel like you're drowning. You're carrying everyone's weight and wondering why your back's breaking. It's the invisible storm that invades your chest, stealing your breath and your peace. You start to question, how did I get here? Why does everything feel wrong even though I'm surrounded by everything that's supposed to be right? Because you let the wrong energy in, and that's a war you'll never win. Real peace is not some fragile thing you find when you get the perfect job, perfect relationship, or perfect home. Peace is not the absence of noise, it's the presence of alignment. It's the ability to look at your day and feel no dread. It's being able to sit in silence and not need to drown it out with distractions. It's walking into a room and not feeling the need to shrink or perform or pretend. But we don't protect that. We don't fight for it. Instead, we give it away like it's a trinket, like it's something that doesn't matter. We keep toxic people in our lives like they're worth it. We engage in pointless battles, arguing with people who don't even deserve a moment of our time. We invite chaos in, let it sit at the table, and wonder why we feel empty, why we feel exhausted, why we feel fractured. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful minds to ever live, once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This isn't just a quote, it's a warning. Your peace is a canvas, and every single thought you let linger, every person you let remain in your life, every distraction you allow to steal your focus, they all paint your soul. If you're allowing chaos, negativity, or toxic energy to flood your mind, your inner world is stained with it. And when you look at yourself in the mirror, what will you see? Will you see someone who stands unshaken, or will you see a reflection distorted by the chaos you let define you? Peace doesn't come from avoiding the noise. It comes from refusing to let it paint your soul. And Marcus reminds us, the true retreat, the only sanctuary, is within. Guard that mind. Guard that peace, because once it's gone, it's gone. It doesn't matter if they misunderstand you. It doesn't matter if they talk behind your back or call you cold. Let them go. Let them go with their chaos and their noise. You don't owe anyone access to your energy. That's a gift, and you need to stop giving it away like it's a free sample. Protect your time, protect your space, and protect your peace like it's the most sacred thing you have. Because it is. That means walking away from arguments that are pointless, deleting contacts that disturb your mental clarity, ignoring the chaos that tries to pull you in. It means shutting the door on the noise and taking control of what you can control. And that's your peace. That's your power. Inner peace is not passive. It's a battle. It's a choice. It's the strength to say, I'm not giving my energy to this. I'm not letting this drain me. I'm not letting this control me. It's the discipline to say no to the chaos and yes to your own sanity. You are not here to be everyone's emotional punching bag. You are not here to hold up the sky while everyone else stands under it. Breathe. Exhale. Find your center again. If something costs you your peace, if it makes you feel fractured inside, then it's too expensive. No price is worth your soul. No person, no situation, no argument is worth the energy that should be devoted to keeping your spirit whole, to keeping your mind clear, to keeping your peace. You weren't meant to carry the weight of everyone else's drama. You weren't meant to be bent and twisted by every storm that rages around you. You were born to stand unshaken. Your peace isn't something to barter away, it's something to protect with every ounce of your being. Let them misunderstand you. Let them burn with their drama, because you know what? You're not here to survive their storm. You're here to thrive in your own sanctuary, and that sanctuary, it's in your soul. And that's a fortress no one can breach unless you let them. So don't. Hold your ground. Hold your peace. And never, ever let anyone or anything steal it from you. Every man comes to a point in his life where a decision has to be made, a decision that will shape the rest of his existence. Does he stay silent, burying himself deeper into the grave of complacency, allowing the world to take pieces of him until there's nothing left? Or does he stand tall, reclaiming his power, and begin protecting the things that cannot be replaced? His dignity, his energy, his time, his values, his peace. These aren't negotiable. These are sacred. These are the non-negotiables, the foundations of who you are. Once they're gone, you don't just lose them, you lose you. The damage is invisible at first, but it's profound. It's a silent erosion, and before you know it, you'll look in the mirror and wonder why the man staring back is a stranger, why he feels hollow, why he's lost in a world that doesn't even know who he is anymore. You were never meant to be everyone's answer. You were meant to be true to yourself. That's the brutal, unflinching truth Stoicism teaches us. Power doesn't come from controlling the world around you. It comes from mastering the world inside you. It's not about building walls that cut you off from the world. It's about becoming so clear, so unshakably aligned that nothing, no person, no circumstance can disturb your peace. It's not about becoming cold or distant. It's about becoming precise. It's about standing in your truth without apology. That's the foundation of real strength. Not the kind that forces you to compromise and shrink, but the kind that compels respect, because you refuse to let anyone or anything take what is sacred to you. So I'm telling you now, protect what is sacred. Guard it like your very life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Let go of the people, the places, and the energy that drain you. Walk away from the noise, and stand forward as a man who has made a choice, a man who knows exactly what he won't sacrifice. Because believe me, once you start protecting your core, your soul, your peace, your values, once you stop handing over pieces of yourself like they're free tickets to the show, you will step into a new version of yourself, a version that doesn't shrink, a version that commands, a version that stands unbreakable. Like this video if it spoke to you. Subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who needs a wake-up call, and tell me in the comments, which of the 5 are you reclaiming today?